Myles, when we first started doing the show, a long time ago, we've been doing this for over 10 years now.
It's been a while. Been a while.
I'm just counting the unsubscribers. Like, please stop it with the "it's been a whiles."
I thought it's because you get a copyright strike.
Oh God, no! God, no! No one wants to claim that song. I'm just kidding. For all the Stained fans out there, we're just joking around. Yeah. No, we used to have to get together like an hour beforehand, like an hour before the show started, and just like prep everything and like make sure we're dude. We started the call today like 5 minutes before 6, which is pretty impressive. That we were only a minute late. Not too shabby.
We're naturals now. There's a phrase we have for that in the UK. We say like we just swan along. SWAN, like swan along. Do you say that in the States? Like if you're just sort of blagging it?
Before. No.
You do have swans in the US though, right?
We killed them all.
Oh, you do? See,
Guns,
in the UK, they're protected.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because they're protected by it used to be the Queen, now the King. So, yeah.
So the Queen would just walk around and protect them? Like with a big royal staff? Is that how that worked?
If you took a stick out and threw it at a swan, she would just like spawn out the clouds and...
Damn.
Like, RPG shit.
I never understood what the point of kings and queens were, but now I know. You gotta protect the swans.
That's how the Queen died. She drowned.
Damn, dude, we're gonna piss off some people. So you want to get to the show so we can piss off more people?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's piss people off because that's why we're here. Happy Friday.
Let's go. If I asked you to start the show, would you know how to do it?
This is PSVR2 GameScast Live. We're here every Monday, Wednesday, and 2 Wise Friday, right here on YouTube for your viewing pleasure. And why not sometimes for your oral pleasure? Because that's what we do. So we're on Spotify.
That's what we do.
Because that's what we do. We're on podcast services of your choice. Do hit the like button if you haven't already. It helps us with the algorithm. Get it out to all those people out there and do subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of all future GamesCast, because if this one is absolutely terrible, the next one will be a little less terrible. Probably. Maybe. Who knows?
His name is Myles Dyer from youtube.com/Myles. No mispronunciations when Myles does it. And over here on his left, your right, it's Brian Paul from Without Parole.
What up, Brian?
Oh, an hour ago I didn't want to do the show. And here we
do you know what that felt like right now when you asked me that? It's like if someone ever says to you, and even if you ask comedians, tell me a good joke. And in that moment, it doesn't matter how many jokes you've heard throughout your entire life. It's like there is nothing in my head right now. So when you said, do you know how to do the intro? I was just like, I've literally forgotten what words are. So blah, 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 blah. Right. But hello, Game Cats.
If you were like out drinking and just hanging out with your friends, you probably could have just been like, just like grabbed it from the back of your mind and been like, this is PSVR GameScast Live, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. I love it. Guys, thank you everybody for being here. I had a crazy day today and just, I mean, all sorts of craziness. Just really, just no end in sight to the craziness. And so I didn't even know until about 20 minutes ago if we were actually going to do a show or not. And so I didn't get it set up until about 20 minutes ago. So thank you for being here, despite the fact that you barely got a notification that we're even doing a show today. You guys are fucking awesome. Awesome Tatum says, Lordy, it's going to be one of them Fridays, isn't it? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And
it's always one of those Fridays.
To make it even better, well, sometimes we have a Friday show where we're like all amped and like having fun and stuff, but we have nothing to talk about. Guys, if I could show you the run of show, it's like fucking this long. And this long. And this wide. It's like a Coke can, Myles.
Wow.
Yeah. How you doing?
That's incredible.
I haven't gotten a chance to talk to you much this week.
I'm doing good. And look, I'm pretty hyped. I was saying to Brian just before the show, I was a bit... My passport had expired. And it's always a bit like, I should have maybe got it sent off because we have a bit of a Game Cat meetup. And also, I haven't talked about it a lot on the show. I've been like a pendulum swinging all this year about, I'm not sure I'm going to come. Actually, yeah, no, I'll probably come to the Game Cat meetup. Not so sure. But last Friday, I sent off my old passport. It's a Friday later. I didn't pay for the fast service where you go for an interview and stuff. Just paid for the regular, which takes 3 to 4 weeks, and I got it. I got it already. So, and it's and because we left the European Union, we have blue passports now.
Wait, what color were they before? Our passports are also blue. Wait a minute. Why am I saying that? I even have a passport. I don't have a passport.
They were like a reddish color before, a sort of a reddish color, yeah. So I've got my passport.
Can anybody back up my claim in the chat? Do we have blue passports? I thought we did. I don't, but why would I assume that? I don't think I've ever owned a passport, ever.
There we go.
I went to Canada one time in my life to go to the falls, Niagara Falls with my parents. I was like 10 or something. And like back then you didn't need a passport to go to Canada. So we just fucking ran.
Okay.
No one stopped us at all. Just like, things have changed.
Tintastic in the chat says dark blue. Dark blue.
Dark blue.
So,
See,
yeah.
I had it.
Maroon.
Twitcher, like, listen, no one cares what's happening in the UK, okay? No one cares.
Like,
except for everyone in the UK.
But no, I've got my passport, so I'm now planning my US trip because I'm probably going to first fly to Florida to stay with Eric Masher from Impact Flats VR Studios, work there for a week. It just breaks up the journey a bit as well, because I always find it amusing. Well, it's not amusing, but interesting that, you know, if you were to fly from California to New York, that is half the journey to the UK. Like, it's the same distance as like you would fly ocean wise to get to the UK and that. But yeah, traveling, I think, is a bit interesting at the moment. My parents have just gone to Vietnam for 4 weeks, and they stop off in Dubai, which, for anyone that's followed the news, has had rockets hit the terminals like the last couple of weeks.
Oh.
Their flight there, they were waiting until Monday of this week because they were flying out on Wednesday to see if it was going to get cancelled or moved or stuff. And the only thing that changed was the flight route was going to take a bit longer, because initially to get to Dubai from the UK, I think you fly over a country called... I don't know if anyone's heard of this country. It's called Iran. So yeah, you fly over that, and for what? And for some reason, it's not a safe route of passage at the moment. So instead, they went over a much safer country called Afghanistan. So that's where they flew. They were in Dubai for 2 hours, and I was like texting with them, and I was like, just let me know once you've left. And they got to Vietnam, having a wonderful time now, I assume.
I love that people have asked us not to talk about politics on the show, but we do only if you keep up with the news and what's happening in the world. Otherwise, you have no fucking.
Oh, I see. No, I'm just talking about travel. I'm just talking about travel. Yeah,
exactly.
Nothing political about it at all.
Nope.
Except that countries are political lines drawn in the sand.
Yeah,
but yeah.
And listen, everything's political. They've politicized absolutely everything, and so you know, it's hard to avoid. Hard to avoid these days.
It is. But yeah, traveling's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see the price of flights. I was joking to Brian beforehand that on the one hand, flights to the US have got a lot cheaper because I hear like there's just less people traveling to the US at the moment. But the price of fuel's going up, so it might balance out and just feel the same. I don't know. I need to have a look. But yeah.
Myles, we got fifth with the Australian $2 saying, Myles, did you get the Game Boy working? What Game Boy are we talking about? I'm so excited to talk about this. Forget everything we have on the Run of Show. What Game Boy?
On my weekly like talk show thing, Miles Die Live on Wednesday, I had Maria on, a fellow streamer, to talk about like our earliest gaming memories, and I actually dug out my Sega Master System, and she has a Game Boy Color. And I've got the Game Boy Advance. I actually didn't keep my old Game Boy. And I still have my Pokemon Red and Yellow, my original cartridges. And I assume that the saves won't work anymore. But they were telling me in the chat that if they're well preserved, and they were in the cases, that they might still have the saves. So it's been in there for 20 years. But I didn't have any batteries. So I was trying to find some batteries, didn't have any. This is a really boring story, this bit. But anyway, I'm going to be getting batteries this weekend for it to try and see if it works. I hope so. I mean, if I have my original Pokemon Red save file, that would be amazing. And I've got like the original, I guess it's the original Tetris game, is it? If it's, well, no, the original Game Boy Tetris.
Was there a Tetris DX
was
on Game Boy Color, or you're talking about the original Tetris on Game Boy?
The whatever was for the original Game Boy. It just says Tetris on it. I don't know if there was a Tetris beforehand on like arcade machines or something, but yeah. And the original Super Mario Brothers, which was so hard on the Game Boy.
Super Mario Land.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Famously developed not by Miyamoto but by Gunpei. Crap, I forget his last name. Is like, and just so like not the guy who like basically invented the Game Boy and the guy who invented Virtual Boy. He's the one who designed Super Mario Land, and that's why it doesn't feel like a fucking Super Mario Brothers game. Yeah, it is very hard. Yeah, well, this is my bread and butter, Myles. Like, you want to talk retro?
Yeah, cool.
Retro all day. This is good.
Well, the other thing I'd say is the reason those games were very difficult was that, I assume it was those ones as well, that when you did any platforming where you have to jump over a gap, in those games you had to jump before the gap or else you fell in. And what a lot of modern games do now is they have this kind of buffer. If you run and jump technically off, you will still do the jump.
You know what
because
that's
it's just... No.
It's called Coyote Time. Because of Wile E. Coyote
runs
off the cliff and takes a second to fall.
Okay.
It's called Coyote Time.
That's awesome. But it's why when Crash Bandicoot got the remaster remake, a lot of us are going, oh, okay, I'm a lot older now. It's going to be a lot easier. And then you're playing it, you go, God, this is still so effing hard. And I think it's because they kept those kind of things in there as well, where it's just games back then were just naturally more difficult because they had less space. So they had to make them last longer. Because there was no like save files on Mario. If you died and game over, you got to start all the way at the beginning again, like an arcade machine. You know, that was it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Did I mention I love it? Oh God, I really want.
Oh, last thing then before we move on. So I do this this vertical video series of like recommendations. I'll say a category and then 3 like VR games pop above my head. I'm just scripting one now, and it's one of the categories is if you like retro games in VR. What would your 3 choices be of recommendations of anything retro themed? Like,
sorry, I got to be honest, Myles. I was reading the chat, and I really didn't sleep well last night, and so I was distracted, and I didn't know you were going to throw a question to me. I apologize.
I'll ask it again quickly. That's all right. So I do this vertical video series about recommendations. So I'll say a category like if you like horror, and then it'll have like 3 horror games to check out. And I'm scripting one at the moment. I'm going to do a batch on this weekend just so I can do them every week. And one of the categories I've got is if you like retro, like anything retro themed. And I'm just saying, what would be the 3 VR games above your head? I try and go for not necessarily my favorites, but maybe like a good mix. But PSVR2 games that would be for retro game lovers. What would your 3 be?
Oh, that's that's so difficult because I mean, I guess it all depends on what you call retro these days. But like something like Organ Quarter brings back my Silent Hill 1. It feels so Silent Hill 1, it's not even funny.
That's a great show.
Ancient Dungeon, with the voxel art style, just feels that. And even Eric Thelen, who I interviewed the other day, said it's so funny that people always bring up Minecraft when talking about it because it's so much more Super Nintendo inspired, right? And less Minecraft inspired, more Super Nintendo inspired. And I was like, I can absolutely see that. And then I mean, how can we not throw Pixel Rip 95 into the mix, right? Which is a complete love letter to games that we grew up with.
I love it. Do you know those were 3 titles I had in a different combination, another one, but they're not the 3 I've gone with on that. But like I would have gone with them. So the 3 I've gone with are Masternoid.
Oh, so good. Such a great choice.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like you can't just choose 3. And that's what I like is I can do multiple retro ones. So Masternoid, Arcade Paradise VR. Wow. And then the last one, which I think it counts, but it's like some people might go, it's not as retro, but Compound. Just because it has a retro feel. But yeah, I think
inspired, right? Like OG.
Yeah, that's it. Pixel Rip though, absolutely, and yes, Ancient Dungeon, definitely retro. And then what was the first one that you said?
God only knows. Organ Quarter.
Oh yeah, that Silent Hill vibe. Yeah, that's a really good show.
Yeah,
lots in the chat as well. Infinite Loop saying, is Compound even on PSVR 2? It is.
It is indeed, but it does not have the much desired Platinum Trophy, which kept a lot of people from buying it, unfortunately. But It sounds like it did well enough. I think the last time I talked to that developer, he said that he was considering bringing whatever game he does next to PSVR2 as well. He seemed happy. So hopefully he heard us, screaming about the platinum trophy. So he'll.
Nihilus Ryan, the game feline, says no Jeff Minter in there. You're right. They should probably put one of those games in there for sure. But
that's true.
I mean, they are. I personally could.
Polybius is the one. That's the problem.
Okay. Yeah.
Right, and that's only on PSVR1. We got No Man is an Island with the Australian $10 tip saying just showing support because I don't get to show up much because Australia. We understand that. We understand.
Timing's tough.
Listen, and we've said it a million times, it's great that you're here live. If you're here after the fact, amazing. Thank you so much for being here retroactively. This is Sun WTF, I believe, with the $20 tip saying hi. I got nothing. You didn't give us much to work with, son, but thank you so much. We appreciate your help. Patty Cakes with the Level 1 membership says, how about that Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 blog post? Looking great. Hey, you know what? Screw the order we had ready for you guys. Screw the hours of time it took me to put together a show for you. Let's just talk about whatever you guys want to talk about in the order in which you deem it to be a thing. Let's talk about Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, Myles. This was not the first news story I had, but we can just jump right to it. This is actually, I think this is, this was late news in the day. And so we didn't, so this probably would have been the thumbnail, I think, if I had time to really think about it.
Yeah.
All right. Let me bring it up. We're still watching Pixel 1989, was it? Let's get this up and running. Here we go. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 deep dive into the PSVR2 mode. Listen, I'm pretty easygoing, Myles. I don't ask a lot. I don't think any of us ask a lot from Sony. And it's really nice for them to acknowledge that PSVR2 exists on the front page of the PlayStation blog, right? That's the bare minimum we asked for. And today they gave us the bare minimum. How nice is that?
Good. I mean, the clips they've included are awesome.
Yes, absolutely. And that's, I mean, I want to definitely spend a lot of time on those. However, I don't think they gave us a ton of information here. I actually think there's a couple things they say here that bring up more questions than answers. So, but let's get into it. Oh my God, it's so small on my screen right now. It is. I'm also tired, so everything's a little bit blurrier than it should be. But this is Corey Brotherson, PlayStation blog contributor, says, when Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 was announced last year for PS5, you could almost hear the inevitable question on everyone's lips. Will it support PSVR2? Asobo in the Microsoft Game Studios team, I know, right? At Microsoft, wasted no time. I think, well, we asked that for sure. Is this proof that they listen to us? There's no way. They don't listen to us. They don't even want to believe we exist most days. They wasted no time with the immediate and welcome revelation that, yes, you'll be exploring new heights in the most advanced flight sim available with free PSVR2 update launching early this year. So many things to dissect already. First and foremost, this right here, what they're showing on the screen, this is the very first footage of Microsoft Flight Simulator running on PSVR2 ever, right? When they announced it, they didn't show us anything. They didn't even show us a short little clip and saying, look how great it looks. They just said, hey, it's coming. And it's like very far along. And so there's that. And Myles, what do you think about it? What do you think about the first clip?
I love it. Because it's not just like looking out the side of a helicopter, or is it a plane? Is it?
It's a crop duster.
It is a plane. Oh, it is a crop duster. But you look at it and you just see everything being dusted. Technical term, but like that's something they didn't have to show. But this is the thing that excites me about this title, and I've never played the title. Is it's not just a flying sim? It's like it's a livable world. It feels like a world where you're doing things with purpose. Other than, combat fighting and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, this is great. We've heard about all the different missions that you can do, putting out fires and doing rescue missions. And I don't even think I'd heard of that you can do this crop dusting stuff. But just like Ace of Thunder, I love the idea that like they give you reasons to be really close to the ground. So I think that all this is really exciting. But they also mentioned in the same breath that it's launching early this year. They had said it's launching early this year. And then they got kind of quiet, and now it's the end of March, and they're still saying early this year. Like, isn't like April considered like mid 2026? Like April, May, June, July, kind of the right that we kind of get out of early once you leave Q1.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I think it's going to be April or May. Then it's going to be April or May.
It's got to be soon. It's got to be soon.
Yeah.
And how crazy is it that like Secret of the Mimic is also listed for spring 2026, right? And so we've got two pretty big. I don't know if you want to consider Secret of the Mimic a AAA game, but I think if it's not, it's pretty damn close. Two very, very, very big titles coming to our platform very, very, very soon. This is really exciting. I'm going to keep scrolling if that's cool with you.
Just want to say, Chrome Colossus says you can crop dust with a chopper. The reason I said it was the cockpit looks more like a helicopter than a plane. But
sure, I answered pretty much off the cuff because I don't know anything about flying anything. So this,
but you're right, it was crop dusting, which I wouldn't have known that term. So this
could be a goddamn school bus, Miles, and I'd be like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, that would be awesome if you fly the magic school bus.
Ooh, the magic school bus.
Oh,
now we're talking.
How is that not a VR game? Like you go into the body, going down the veins and like all the blood cells and that. That'd be.
Are you describing Inner Space? Did you ever see Inner Space?
I didn't see it. No.
I mean, I was a kid when I saw it, so it's got to be pretty old. But that's what it was. They shrunk you down and
Right.
Yeah. Anyway,
right.
I remember it being awesome, but it could be terrible. I don't know how it's aged. They said, but as with any VR mode, it's not just a matter of pressing a magic button to get the job done. I feel like they're speaking directly to us, Miles. They're saying, listen, it's a lot of work to get things running in VR. You don't just turn on the VR mode and then click DFR and then ship it. And like, we know. We try to be as empathetic as possible when it comes to this kind of stuff. But I thought this was really interesting, Miles. They say cockpit interactions in MFS, whatever, Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 are complex. I tried to shorten it and just fucking made it so much longer. There's so many different instruments, knobs, and switches to interact with. Every interaction model has to be redesigned to fit the PSVR2 Sense controllers to action them in a natural and intuitive manner. This is not them just saying, hey, it's not just your view. That's VR now. It's not. They're actually giving us all these VRAF interactions. They're basically saying that all these different instruments, the knobs, switches, everything, you're going to reach out and boom, turn, flick, right? Which is sort of what Gaijin had promised us, I believe, with Aces of Thunder. That's what they kept showing off. They kept showing all these VRAF interactions in the planes, and then we played the game and we're like, hey, how come nothing does anything? Like, what's not working? So, yeah, good stuff. And then here's a little bit something more traditional here. Miles, help me out with my terminology. Are these biplanes that we're seeing?
You're asking the wrong person here.
Listen, I saw Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and that's my extent of knowledge on biplanes.
I love it.
Sorry, son.
This is a great. This is a great shot as well, though. The sunlight, the skybox, the ground, the reflection on the windshield. The thing I'm looking out for in this clip, and I have noticed it when I've looked far enough, and I don't want to spoil it for GameCast, so ignore me if as I start describing it. I do look for pop-in. Because in Aces of Thunder, there's a lot of pop-in with the trees that are near you. And I'm looking at this. I can't see much pop-in on the trees around the ground. However, if you look to the distant, to the right of the blue plane, you'll see pop-in with the like mountains in the distance, which I'm not saying, oh, it's terrible. Like there's going to be pop-in somewhere. And that's fine. So I'm just saying that as a disclaimer. There is pop-in happening here, but the fact it's not happening close on the ground and that, I think that's great, because for Aces of Thunder, that is something that killed the immersion for me, is when you're flying low above trees and there's pop-in literally happening in front of you. And look, I'm not saying it's easy. It's tough.
For me, I think they did the thing that I prefer. They made sure that the resolution was through the roof in Ace of Thunder. Right. They made sure it was running at 90 native. And so I was like, yo, pop in as much as you fucking want, Gaijin. Because that you have done the things that I really care about, the things that make it more immersive for me. But I get it. And it does sound like that these guys focused on other things. It does not sound like frame rate It's definitely not going to be running at 90 native by any stretch of the imagination. And also shout out to Bart Cunningham in the chat who clarified biplanes have 2 level of wings. These do not. That's absolutely correct. I did play enough Red Baron in my life by Dynamics back in the day to know this kind of stuff. But like everything else in my life, it no longer exists in my brain. So yeah, and actually it's the very next thing they say, Myles, that concerns me or causes a little bit of alarm. SB was talking about this over on Discord, and I kind of missed it the first time I read through it, but then I read through it again and was like, what are they talking about? They say another tech developed specifically for PSVR2 support was frame duplication, where the render thread would iterate twice for one frame of the main thread, updating the camera position in between. This technical approach was another key in achieving the frame rate needed for PSVR2 support. Myles, I think the first time I read this, I was like, yeah, that's called reprojection.
Right, yeah.
But they're making it sound like it's a new thing that they had to come up with. And so the theory that I think SB posed in our Discord was that this could be reprojection, like double reprojection. Really reprojection? Really? Right, like this could be this new thing where like it's running at where they managed to get the frame rate steady at 30, and now it's reprojecting to 60, which reprojects to 120. This is
no, it's 7.5 reprojected to 120. Projection. Is it rary? Is it rary? Is it rary reprojected? It's very really projected.
I knew we shouldn't have done a show today. This is but then there's a whole other theory where it's like, well, maybe they got it running at 45. We've never seen a game reprojected to 90. I don't think that's even a thing that the PSVR2 can do or that the PS5 is set up for. But if they, develop new shit, I don't know, man. Like, this could just be fucking straight up normal reprojection. It could be. But the way it was worded, like he was like describing what reprojection was when like, yeah, bro, we've been playing PSVR2 games for 3 years. We know what reprojection is. So it was just interesting. Just something to note. Hopefully they'll clarify that soon.
And remind me, Brian, when it comes to reprojection, when you're playing games like
just regular reprojection,
just regular reprojection. Yeah. When you're in driving games, anything where you're static and you've got environments like Gran Turismo had reprojection, right? It's less noticeable. I think reprojection shows more when you're the one that's physically moving through the world, because you're obviously going to be like strafing sideways when it can come across as more offensive. I think there's a lot more leeway when it comes to like vehicular types of games, or is that not?
Sure. I mean, It is difficult to say, but I think you are onto something. I think with racing games and even flight games, you are flying in driving so much forward in a straight line, right? And there are not walls or like something that a lot of people will say that when it really stands out to them for the first time is when they're climbing a ladder or climbing a cliff or something in Horizon Call of the Mountain, and all of this stuff like the edge of the cliff or the top rung of the ladder or something. You can really see that ghosting when something so close to your face is reprojecting against the sky in the background, right? And so with racing games and flight games, you're not going to have that. You're not moving the environment around right in front of your face. You're basically seeing the same cockpit. It's still noticeable, and I think the benefit for getting rid of reprojection in a flight or racing game is that 90 frames native just allows you to feel that speed and intensity so much more. Yeah. Did you lose an AirPod?
I did. I lost it. I got it. I was like, I'm going to try and grab it subtly, and I was like, there's no way I'm going to do it, so I'm just going to.
Well, especially when Brian calls out everything that you're doing.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you just fart? Oh man. Anyway, feel free to head on over to the PlayStation blog. There is there's a lot to see here. Again, I think the most impressive stuff is just looking at these short video clips that they've included. Just looking at how good everything looks.
They did mention like looking at how Gran Turismo 7 effectively used VR as a form of inspiration because of the speed they've captured in that. So even if there is reprojection, that might be a part of it. Just scrolling down though, I mean, if we're not going to read the full thing, the one, my favorite video in this entire thing was of the hot air balloon.
Oh yeah.
Looking down on the elephant. Good because show. It goes back to what I said about the fact that it feels like a lived world. Like the fact that you could be flying anywhere and right now you're on a hot air balloon over an elephant, I think is pretty amazing.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the fact is that like you're supposed to be able to fly around in these planes, then land anywhere, find a field, land anywhere, and then get out and walk around. I think that's insane. That makes it so much more than just a flight sim. So I think this is absolutely going to be the next must-have PSVR2 game. Another reason to own a PSVR2 headset. And obviously we've been seeing a lot of people come around, a lot of people picking up their PSVR2 for the first time. I just saw a video. It was so funny, man. I was watching, and I wish I could remember the guy's name off the top of my head, but I can't. Something came up in my recommended feed. Somebody who enjoys sim racers picked up a PSVR2 headset and played Gran Turismo 7 for the very first time, like this past week, and just couldn't stop raving about it the entire video, being like, I knew it was going to be good. I didn't know it was going to be this good, and just kind of raved and raved and raved. And I was like, oh man, it's so nice to see this positivity about PSVR2 and people really finally, because of the price tag, finally giving it a chance. And then I looked in the comments, bro, so many fucking game cats who also must have been recommended the video, being like, oh, welcome to the family. This is so great. And I just went through and liked everybody's comment. It was nice. Really nice to see.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, feel free to go check out the entire blog post yourself over on blog.playstation.com. Sirens on my end. Man, oh man.
This is going to be another system seller.
It is. And I'm very curious to see, because we've heard very differing reports about the optimization on the PlayStation 5 itself. People playing on the base PS5 and having a great time. Right. And then some people saying, oh man, I've had a very difficult time having it run smoothly. And so I'm like, well, this is the kind of thing that I just need to see for myself to form my own opinion. Because some people aren't susceptible to frame rate drops. Some people aren't susceptible to resolution drops. And so, yeah. Yep. Oh, and also this is funny. It actually, this news actually dropped on the very same day that they announced, hey, look. Oh, this is the wrong one. Never mind. They announced some more cities that they've included, which is pretty cool to have, these really detailed cities in the game.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but this is the wrong trailer, so never mind. Just ignore it.
But yeah, no announcement on a date. Just early this year.
Right. Which will soon not be a thing. Listen, I'm going to read through the tips and see if anybody wants us to take the show in a different direction. We got 4Aces Gamercat with the 1337 saying, another fine lineup for this weekend's multiplayer meetup with Zero Caliber on Saturday and Mudda effin' Legendary Tales on Sunday. Foreshadowing? 2 p.m. Eastern, you know the drill. Yeah, guys, don't forget, come join our Discord. And if you're looking for other cats to play these great games with, you don't want to play with a bunch of kids, right, who are just going to irritate you and be racist. Not that all kids are racist, but God, it happens so much online for some reason. It's not fun. So if you want to play with some adults that are part of the best community ever, make sure you come join our Discord and get in on these weekend multiplayer games, and you get to vote on what games you're playing every weekend too. So if these aren't your thing, get in there and nominate some games to be voted on next week. Thank you, 4Aces Gamercat. Andrew Ehrenreich with the level 2 membership says, I know the meetup is in Vegas, but is anyone going to be at PAX next week? I'll be there Thursday. Hold on, I got to scroll. And Friday. Can't wait. I might be. I've got a friend. I've got a friend in this that I text frequently. We're kind of like in this little retro game DM club. There's only 5 of us. It's not a big club, but we talk about retro games and shit that we pick up for Switch and whatever. And he was like, "Is anyone going to PAX?" And it was nothing. It was fucking crickets in the chat. And I was like, "Oh, I mean, I've got press badges. So, I mean, I should go for a day." But it's next week, and I haven't even made a decision if I'm heading out there or not. If I go, I think I'll want to go on Friday, to be honest, and so that may impact our show next week, Myles.
That's cool. Yeah, I sometimes go out and do stuff, so it's about time you do. I'd be really proud it'd be you for a change. I know that my colleague and buddy Damien from Rough Talk is going to be there. So if people are looking for others to hang out, Rough Talk guys are going to be there. Yes,
We should
there'll
probably
be VR, some VR.
we should probably make some kind of channel on the Discord about it, Andrew, so that we can we can track down the other people, the other game cats who might be in town for that, just to make it worthwhile, like so we can all hang out or whatever. So good shout. We got Kill Artist 1, the Dreamweaver Game Cat, with a $20 tip. Thank you so much. He says, Brian, I had your luck last night. I can only this is not going to go well. If you know me, I've got the worst luck. I said wanted to play Ancient Dungeon that I only played once, and it was the only VR game that wouldn't play. I was stuck behind a black screen. Ugh! Even reinstalled it. Ugh! Ended up playing Seventh Guest. Ugh! This is crazy, man. So I'd never heard of this bug before. I had never heard of it until this morning. And then was it Stay Warm Game Cat was asking the same thing. Has anyone else had this issue in Ancient Dungeon? And I think it was Headbite that popped in and said, "Oh, I know that Golu had this problem." And so he tagged Golu, and Golu came in and said, "Oh yeah, no, I did have this problem. It's a bug that the developers are aware of. And if you want to play right now, you just have to start a new game. You have to it's a problem with your saved game."
Oh damn!
I have good news. The good news is that Eric Thoen popped into the chat. It's just, dude, it's so great just like watching game cats help each other out, and then the developer is actually in charge of all this. He pops into the conversation. I love it.
Oh, wait. Let me guess. The good news is, Brian, Ancient Dungeon is a really good game. So although you've got to restart your game, you'll have a good time playing it from the beginning again. Is that what you're going to say?
Thankfully, the news is slightly better than that. The news
okay.
The news is that he said that they're aware of the bug and that they are striving to get a patch out for Monday.
Cool.
So I don't know when this happened. It must have been part of that last big update when we got two updates in one. I think it was the arena mode and the flail or mace or whatever the fuck it was. I still didn't get all the pieces of it. I don't even know what weapon I'm trying to assemble anymore. Such a mess.
I'm building a weapon of some kind, but I don't know what it is.
Something.
But it's cool. Yeah.
Something. Stay Warm's here. What's up, dude? So listen, Kill Artist, hold off on playing and cross your fingers that Monday or Tuesday or a day soon comes along and the game will be patched and it'll save your save file. Although in all fairness, he says I only played once, and so he's not losing that much progress unless you play like I do and you played 7 hours the first time you played. So happy to have an update for you on that side of things. Your Geekness with the $5 tip says, I own a restaurant. Bro, guess what? Your Geekness, where is your restaurant? This is where Game Cat Meetup 2027 is happening. We're having it at your Geekness's place. He says, frying chicken while I listen to / watch your shenanigans. I love the show. Happy Friday, Brian and Miles. Happy Friday, cats.
My God.
Guys, it's let's be fair. It's not me or Miles that makes this show great. It's you guys. So let's get that straight right away. Fucking love you guys.
I might get a mug that just says Miles Door.
I mean, bro, at this point you got to lean into it. It ain't going away.
Yeah, exactly. And then you'll get some royalties from it because you're the IP holder of the name.
Here, I just don't want to be calling out the wrong person. It is Sun WTF. Thank you. I get confused. I'm sorry, Sun. It's like Mad Vegan and Sun WTF. Neither one of your names show up properly. So I had to search.
I do find that annoying.
Right? When?
Yeah.
It just changed one day and they never fixed it. So crazy.
Nope.
But Sun with the $5 tip says, is Microsoft Flight Sim technically the first open world PSVR2 game? What do you think? Is that accurate?
I guess so.
This is the problem though. Like on Wednesday's show, I think it was Dave Does VR had posed a viewer takeover question about if you could only get one of these 3 games in VR, which one would it be? And it was Last of Us, Resident Evil Requiem, or Cyberpunk. And overwhelmingly, I think we all decided. See, I know that Last of Us would be an amazing game, and it's a tough decision because we want all 3. Yeah. But Cyberpunk would be our first open world game, and I think just to satisfy that missing hole in the catalog, we would need it. Yeah. Your Geekness says south of Nashville. Come on down. Man, south of Nashville. I don't know.
Price is right.
I lived in Tennessee for a while, but I only lived in like Nashville. Like Hillsborough Village area, and then Murfreesboro and Chattanooga. So I didn't really branch out from any of those areas, so I don't know what's south of Nashville. But next time I'm in town.
The open world question is always a bit of a tricky one, though, because you find that there are already ones on PSVR2, because you've got like No Man's Sky, but people are like, well, that's an open universe. We're talking about an actual world.
But it's true, though. It's true. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you've got like in the chat, Looper, Survive is an open world. Like technically it is.
Yet each level is its own kind of big open area, but I wouldn't call it open world.
And then you've got man, what's the game? The open world game where you have click turning on the bikes. The Thug Life game.
I will kill you if you bring it up. I will kill you. I will reach through the screen and choke you out, Miles. Is that the 4-minute challenge game today?
I'm just seeing if it's listed. I think it did say on the on Zenith as well.
Yes, Zenith was actually a open world game. Yes, I was gonna say first world game. What does that mean? No one knows. We got Alejandro 2Y Underground Stranger Game Cat with the level 3 membership says, haven't been able to catch many live shows. It was crazy at work until today. Ready to help with Game Cat Ops. P.S. I proclaim that from today, clip of the week shall be known as Legendary Takes. Yeah, there was I think when I had to cancel a GAMESCAST a couple weeks ago, it was the day before. So it was a Wednesday show. It was the day before we did our Legendary Tales live stream, Miles. The 4 of us, and because I was just kind of frantically typing and didn't really check my spelling, I said we got a Legendary Takes live stream tomorrow, and I think Alejandro's onto something. We should definitely call it clip of the week, Legendary Take of the week. Yeah, I like it. Changing it right now, Legendary Take of the week, and at this point it'll be 3 hours before we get to it. But thank you guys for your support. It means the world to me. It means the world to us. And then we got Mad Vegan in the chat with the $2 tip says, did I hear my name? Practicing for Walkabout Weekly. Nice. Thanks for perking those ears up and stopping by. Miles,
to be fair, just quickly,
Yeah.
Down and Out does not claim to be an open world game. It just says on the store that wealth and fat.
The audio listeners are really missing out on this one. It doesn't claim to be open world.
It just says fame await you in an open world brought to life in stunning VR, where both danger and opportunities lie around every corner, which is a lie, because every corner, you mean like all 4 corners?
Right. It's like one city block. What are they talking about? Wow. I need to revisit this game. I got to see how much they've improved it.
Because the only thing that you've put it on screen now. Oh my god! All I remember is that if you use the crouch button, it crashes the game now, and I couldn't even be bothered to. I couldn't even bother to report it. So
just like the red alarm button in the supermarket CEO simulator, that crashed the game.
Yeah, but that's actually good.
That's a shocking statement. Miles, real quick, on Wednesday's show, we had mentioned that Firewall Ultra is being shut down in September. I don't think anyone's surprised by this, right? First Contact Entertainment is no longer a thing. But I mean, Firewall 0 Hour is still alive and well on PSVR 1. And so somebody in the comments of Wednesday's episode said, so is Firewall Ultra just going to be free now? Like, so that you're not screwing over any potential customers who accidentally buy it. And Sony's response apparently was to just take it off the store, saying it's gone. They should have made it free so that people could have jumped in and.
Yeah, I think so.
Wait, hold on.
What?
The screen is frozen. Discord is not frozen, but OBS is frozen.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah, the YouTube has got this.
I think we're back.
We're back.
Did it freeze for you guys?
It froze for a little bit. Got the little wheel, spinning wheel.
Right. I mean, it froze in OBS. That was the crazy thing. So I don't even know. That's all right.
It's happening again though. It's frozen again.
Oh, they could hear us though. Frozen Iron can hear you. Okay, well, I was gonna give it a second to kind of get caught up. But Myles, yeah. So Sony decided to take Firewall Ultra off the store instead of just making it free until September, so everybody could check it out, and maybe kind of have a nice little celebration to say goodbye to it. Do you think it was?
Dude, I just, when it comes to multiplayer, and look, I'm not. Even though I work for a studio now, I still know very little about development. But I always just feel like, couldn't local multiplayer be a thing? Like, it isn't going to be ideal that one person hosts the multiplayer.
Not local, more like peer to peer.
Sorry, that's what I mean. Yeah. It just reminds me of the game on PSVR that I loved, that I wish never closed, which was Spark. I just wish they had peer-to-peer multiplayer. Like,
Yeah.
But I guess for a game like this, it's probably gonna not be able to do well on that. I just think it's what a waste. Because regardless of all its problems, I just feel like it would have been cheaper to fix it. I don't know. I just feel
yeah, I agree. Like, how, but who's gonna fix it? Right? Like, they
give it to one of the other developers that have got a first-person game. Like, give them the code.
Yeah.
Like, but I know that's not how it works with this stuff. Like, if Sony owns it, it's not just about giving the code, but
yeah. And this is never a PlayStation that's not exactly thrilled about taking risks and losing a little bit of money here and there. Right? They closed Blue Point. Like, how many? 2 years after buying them? 3 years after? Whatever it was.
Yeah.
I don't care. Absolutely ridiculous. And so I think they're just trying to stop the hemorrhaging as best as they can, and then at some point rebuild. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, this is just FYI. If anybody was like, "Well, I want to get into Firewall Ultra for the last couple months that it's there," if you didn't buy it yet, then you're kind of out of luck. But again, a lot of bad decisions that were made in development of this, and so I'm glad that no one's going to get screwed. No one's accidentally going to spend $40, and then September rolls around. They're like, "Wait a minute, I spent $40 on this. What happened?" So it's better than doing nothing, I guess.
So sorry, the story is it's coming offline now or
very soon.
It's gone.
Yeah, search for it now, right now on the store, and it should be gone. I did a search right before the show. It is gone. I believe Noob Dork Tunes. I get your name right. I think he was the one that reported on our Discord.
But you can, and you'll be able to play the multiplayer till September.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not like it's still bad, but like it's a amount of time.
Yeah.
I actually might start playing it. Like, make the most of it before it goes. Because a lot of people in the chat, some people in the chat I've seen who've gone into it recently and say it still looks phenomenal.
Nice.
There's a lot of good with it. It's just. I don't know. I don't know the story behind it, but I just feel that it just feels like there were a lot of design decisions that were forced by Sony. Yeah. Of like, you need to use all these features because like eye tracking grenade throws is the most insane thing ever. It's just crazy to me.
Yeah. You want these things, you want the use of eye tracking to feel very natural, and that's the least natural thing when you're trying to run that way and they make you look that way.
There's when I was playing Forefront on MetaQuest, the way that they do grenade throws, and I'm trying to think what PSVR2 games use this, because I'm sure Forefront's not the first to do it. But what you do is you pull the pin, you aim with your left hand, the one that you're not throwing with, so you're moving the line, and then you just throw the grenade like you would, but it's going to follow the line that your other hand has set.
This determines your force, or it's just going to
follow. No. It will just go where you've thrown it, but you just get to throw it how you want. But it's going to go exactly. Yeah.
Is that how Alvo worked as well? That's ringing a bell for me.
That's what I was trying to think. If it was Alvo, or it might have been similar, where you still have to do the power. I'm pretty sure on Forefront it doesn't matter. It's just you throw it, but it's cool that it lets you do the action. But anyway, regardless, like that is when I did that, I was like, that's how you do grenade throws in VR. Because you just aim, looking at a window and you see the line going in, and then you throw it, knowing it's going to go in the window. And Hitman style, son says. Yeah.
Andrew Ehrenreich says, at least we got Forefront coming, and I think that is a good consolation prize, because I think that game's going to fucking kill it. Cool. Listen, over on, we want to get through a couple news stories here pretty quickly. But over on Twitter, let me see if I can bring this up. We got a little bit of tease from Andreas Juliusson, who runs Fast Travel Games. Very good man. Yep. And still have not had the privilege of meeting him face to face, but hopefully that will change one day. But I've known him for a long time, man. Known him digitally for a long time. He's known him all the way back when he sent out Apex Construct keys.
Right.
What was that, 2016, 2017? I mean, Jesus Christ. So, yeah, the tweet he put out said, this is some news about the Midnight Walk. He said, next week's going to be one of the craziest in my career in a good way. We launched this beauty, referring to the Midnight Walk, on Switch 2. You know I'm a big fan. But prior to that announcement, something I think will excite VR gamers out there a lot. Tuesday and Thursday, 2 mighty fine days next week. What could he possibly be teasing for VR gamers, Myles?
Who knows?
Myles, like, I know the answer, and so I'm not gonna try to speculate.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm like, even though I know, I don't know. As in, like, I know what it is. I don't know anything about it, so I'm actually kind of curious to see. But yeah, look, Fast Travel Games. What have, because obviously they've done a lot of publishing over the years. And I'm trying to think like what their last main projects were. So it was Vampire the Masquerade in terms of theirs, and then Mannequins always breaks my heart because I played that on a PSVR2 before the PSVR2 came out, when you graciously let me go on your behalf to see them at their studios, and I was like, this is amazing. And it just Mannequin never came out of MetaQuest, which is a shame. So I think those are so Vampire came out 2 years ago, was it?
Probably. I'm just rolling the dice here. It sounds like a 2-year-old game. Yeah. And
they've been doing publishing titles, and I actually like a lot of their published titles, like obviously Ghost Signal, just massive fan of that. And I've always felt that their published decisions, and I'm always saying this, and I'm like, someone's gonna name something that disproves my point. I've always associated Fast Travel Games with like quality. You might not like all their games, but like look at what they've done with the Midnight Walk. Like, what an excellent, and it's not just like an excellent game, it's what I love to see studios do, where they show something different that pushes the medium forward. Like when we saw what the Midnight Walk was, we really believed in it and thought like, okay, this is such an awesome like handmade, and you're going to be in this handmade world in VR, and it's an absolutely wonderful journey. So yeah, so like, you know, who knows, but like Fast Travel Games have a pretty good track record,
yeah,
and I'm excited to see what they do next. Yeah,
I'm realizing as you're talking about it, as I'm looking at the chat, that my assumption was, because this was all framed around the Midnight Walk coming to Switch 2, that it was something related to the Midnight Walk, that it was some update for that game. But there's nothing in his actual statement that says anything about it actually being connected to the Midnight Walk. It could be a brand new game. So good stuff, man. Good stuff. I like, and hopefully it comes to PSVR too. That's the other part of it, is that
right.
Like whatever they're announcing, hopefully it's not just Quest and Steam. So we'll see. All right,
yeah.
cool.
Did the Midnight Walk come to Quest? No.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. I think that was a PSVR2 and Steam game.
Because whenever I hear about games going to Nintendo Switch, in my head I'm always like, oh, this is optimization, and like, obviously it's not the same as a VR, but like if they can get it working on Nintendo Switch 2, could it mean that they could do a Quest version? I mean, I'd love it. I'd love the Midnight Walk to come to Quest and see a whole new audience there.
Chrome Colossus said, I revisited the Midnight Walk a few days ago on the base PS5. Found it unplayable frame rate wise. See, frame rates definitely affect us all a little bit differently. I found it to be very stuttery. Or sorry, no, that's not right. It wasn't stuttery at all at launch. It was low res, and then they improved the resolution and sacrificed the frame rate. And it was like, and on the Pro, it just overall just works better in all regards. I just don't think that they're going back and doing any more with that. They kind of shoved us off a little bit and said, this is the best we got, guys. Whoever's running their social media, not thrilled with them.
The VR Resistance was saying City Skylines 2, lol. But that was a launch title, wasn't it? I had a really great time with that. I know it's not for everyone; it's a really hardcore game, but I had a good time with that. I don't think it needs a sequel.
Yeah, I need to play the first one. I hated the controls. I was like, this feels like somebody just mapped random menus to random buttons on my Sense controller, and I'm like just trying to remember it all and make it and trying to make it click so it was second nature. It wasn't working for me. So I was like, I flooded my town within 5 minutes. So, Myles, we have one more kind of small news story, and then we're going to move on to the big ones of the day. And these come to us. This one comes to us from Twitter, but here, let's just show the trailer first and foremost. What is happening here? Is this trailer 720p? Dude, 2026. Why are people still putting out trailers in 720p? What is happening? Anyway, this is a game called Cursed Echoes. I'd never heard of it before. This trailer came out like 4 months ago. The developers are claiming it's so realistic and so scary you'll forget you're in VR. Which, great. That's excellent news. And then, but again, 4 months ago, never heard of it. The trailer came out. Somehow it kind of got into the rotation of all the cats on Twitter, and so like when you look at their announcement tweet, every single response on that tweet is PSVR2. Is there a PSVR2 version? You guys considering bringing it to PSVR2? And they were very transparent. They said, yeah, announcement coming soon. Like, so details on other platforms coming soon. And so if you guys out there are as big of a horror fan, although I'm starting to question that shit, dude. I was playing Village and almost had a fucking heart attack in House Beneviento yesterday. It was so difficult for me to get through that area, man. I was just like breathing heavy. My heart seemed to be pounding. I was like sweating, like physically, just like from the pure terror of it all. So I'm like, damn, like but it's that visceral, like uncontrollable reaction in horror that I like so much, right? And so and I think that's why I keep going back to it, even though it feels like an abusive relationship. But anyway, I can bring up the tweets. And so just shout out to everybody who was asking about the PSVR2 mode, and shout out specifically to, I believe his name is VT in VR. Oops, that's not it. But guys, when you see this kind of stuff, feel free to tag me. Because it was apparently the last couple of days you guys have been asking about PSVR2 support, and I didn't see it. At all until VT and VR tagged me. And so here we go. This should bring it up. Is this it? Yeah, anyway, so they say we're making a VR horror game so real your brain forgets it's a game. Dinner for Two, maybe, coming this month. And it does seem like they're talking about the Quest version that's coming this month. And you scroll down, and you can't see the replies because we're not signed in on OBS. But anyway, shout out to everybody who contributed to this conversation. It was really nice.
Yeah, we've got quite a few horrors coming out. And do you reckon we'll get an update at the VR game showcased for Slender Man: The Arrival?
I don't know. Perp did their own horror showcase. What, a month ago, 2 months ago? They did their own horror showcase. and Slender wasn't there. Like, what is happening with that game? It makes no sense to me. But maybe the reason it wasn't there, maybe because they were trying to do something for the VR game showcase. Maybe they were holding it off for that.
Right.
I have no idea. But listen, if we don't see Slender: The Arrival VR this October season, this Halloween season, then I don't think we're ever going to see it. Maybe they just backburnered it too long or something. All right. Hey, let's get into our main topics today, starting with Drumsbeat VR. I got to be honest. I hadn't even heard of Drumsbeat VR or Drumbeats VR. But it came out earlier in the month. I don't know what happened. I don't.
Was it shadow drop?
Was it a shadow drop?
I have no idea.
Oh, let's pretend it was, and that'll make me feel better.
I didn't even know it was out now already. There we go.
Okay, so
I can the embargo's up. I can talk about it.
Yeah. So yeah, it kind of came out, and I hadn't heard anything about it, and maybe and honestly maybe I'd heard about it and was like, man, I haven't played Smash Drums. I haven't played enough Drumsbeat. No, What's the name of this game? This is Drumsbeat, Drum Beats, and then I hadn't played a ton of Drums Rock. And I've gone over this again and again on GAMESCAST, just being like, if I don't have a physical surface to hit sticks with, then it just doesn't. Something feels wrong. Something feels off to me. Trying to mimic drumming in VR, and so I wasn't terribly interested in this even after I did hear about it. But then, Myles, a revelation that this is the only PSVR2 rhythm game that supports custom songs. So were you able to get some custom songs up and running today?
I wasn't. I was pushed for time, and then I got a text from you, and I looked at it, and I went, I think I'm just going to let Brian struggle on this one.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Dude, I almost ditched this news story from the show, and then I was like, well, I've already put it in the headline. And then Myles spent the last 30 minutes trying to get this to work, so...
but I do have thoughts on the core game itself, and I was pleasantly surprised by some elements of it. But I'll talk about that in a minute. Let's talk about the custom songs thing, because this is the thing that everyone's interested in, as you say. Like rhythm games, can you do custom songs on PSVR2? No, because of policies, and they claim you can.
Yeah, so I was in my own little world, right? Because I thought it was as simple as take a thumbstick, shove it in your computer, and then download some MP3s, and the game will sort of render out its own drum patterns and shit. I was, again, not paying close attention to any of this. I should have looked deeper. But even when the developer was talking about it on Reddit and saying it's so easy, it failed to mention that you have to go to a specific website that says, hey, here's where you can upload the songs that you've modded on PC. The ones that you've actually added drum beats to. And so basically what we're looking at was a collection of 111 songs. No, secrets of. The first thing I tried to do was do Helena on Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge. I desperately wanted to do My Chemical Romance. There are no My Chemical Romance songs on the website, which is really sad. But what there is there's 111 other songs, which, for a game that comes out with a pretty, let's call it bare bones set list, I think it's necessary. When you're one of the first ones out of the gate, like Beat Saber, you can kind of afford to be like, oh yeah, here's your 15 songs. We'll add more later. We'll add more DLC. We'll add more free stuff. But this is like, bro, there's so much competition. And so the modded stuff, being able to go to that website and download them and bring them on over. Don't forget to unzip them. Very important. I screwed that up. I screwed up in every way possible today. But then finally got it working. And it's fine. It's fine. Like I'm impressed that it works, and once you actually know how to do it, it's very, very easy. And now I just have to petition some people to convert some MCR songs so that I can play them. But that's the selling point, I think, Myles, for drum beats, because I think I prefer, with two exceptions. There are two reasons that this statement is false. I prefer Smash Drums and Drums Rock. But there are two things other than modded songs that this game offers that those games don't. But we'll get to those later. So that's how you do that. Yeah. What did you think? You've played all these rhythm games, right?
Yeah, and the comparison you did with the two other games I thought was interesting. So, firstly, I want to say from the get-go, I need to get gloves for playing these games, because when I did Smash Drums doing a Let's Play, I was in that for like 90 minutes and I loved it. And then when I took my headset off, I was bleeding here and here because of where my thumbs were rubbing against the outer orb of the controllers. because as you're sort of doing that, it's rubbing against it. And even though that was months ago, it's still very tender.
Oh, no.
And like playing this for a little bit, I'm already like, I'm feeling blisters coming back. So I need to get some gloves there. Drums rock, I didn't enjoy.
Okay.
And by the way, I used to be a drummer. I drummed for most of my teens. And haven't probably sat at a drum kit properly for about 10 years now. But I used to drum for a metal band that became the one that I did actually do vocals for in the end.
Oh, nice.
And so you know, that doesn't necessarily mean you can't enjoy drum games if you've never been a drummer, but I just sort of take that into consideration. And for drums rock, I thought there's something here, but I didn't like how the drums felt. I was always catching the stick underneath cymbals. It didn't feel like a drum kit. And it's always the difficult thing with drums. Beat Saber, we say this a lot, when you're cutting through blocks, that makes sense in VR because you follow through. In drums, you're meant to be hitting a skin. There should be some bounce back. And of course, when you play boxing games, you're not hitting anything. So the same problem. But for drums, when you're actually doing drum rolls and that, you're bouncing the stick loosely with your fingers to, get pushback. And then that's how you do drum rolls and rudiments and all that. So with that said, drums rock, I've always gone back to it. I bought all the DLC hoping I'd really like it. And it's not a bad game, just hasn't done anything for me. I do like the fact that you count in though with the sticks. That's cool.
Yep.
Smash Drums though, when I played that, I was blown away. And I love that in Smash Drums, you have the different ways of playing the game. So you have like the one that looks like Guitar Hero. You have it where you're at a drum, where you've got like drums coming towards you down the line that are floating, and then you've got a mixture where you're at a drum kit as the drums come towards you, which is very similar to what this game is. So Smash Drums, I love. It feels great, great music, great atmosphere, all that sort of stuff. So when I sat down to play this today, and I was like, oh, another drumming game. And as it starts, I'm just like, okay, the menus don't look great. Lots of menus to accept terms of service. You go into it. The menu is very, very bare bones. But the first song on the list, Teenage Dirtbag by Wheatus, which in fact was one of the first songs I ever drummed to at a school concert. Oh. It was a summer event where we played outside. And so I'm very familiar with playing it on drums. So I played the song, and I have to say, without physically hitting anything, this is actually the best feeling drum kit. I prefer the feeling of Smash Drums. It's much more explosive and visceral, which is what you want for arcade. But in terms of like hitting the drums, opening the hi-hat, the fact that you can use the kick drum with the right trigger, the way the cymbals move around. And I was able to sort of do drum fills around the kit and be playful and not get punished for it. And I actually really, really liked it. Playing Teenage Dirtbag, though, not kind of how I remember playing it. But it was fun. That's pretty much all I can really say about this, which was initially I had fun. It feels good to play. I like the freestyle nature of it. It feels like a kit. But as a VR game, it feels very shallow and like it feels like not a tech demo, but like a tech demonstration of like,
it's
here's
like a
virtual
proof of
drum
concept.
Kit. Right, exactly.
Yeah. I agree with that. I agree with that. Developers actually here in the chat, so thanks for stopping by. The thing I've found about his responses to anybody asking for anything on Reddit, being like, "Oh, can you implement this? Can we have this? Can we have this?" He keeps saying, I want to. This is something I want to include in the game. Like almost like every single request, it sounds like he wants to honor. And so I gotta say, like for kind of a bare bones, sort of straight to the point, drumming game, it's off to a good start. And
yes.
And the two things that I was mentioning earlier that kind of put this above the other drumming games for me, despite the fact that I just kind of enjoy the feel of the other ones more, are the fact that L2 closes the hi-hat, which I don't believe I've seen in any other rhythm game, and then R2 hits the bass drum. Right, like does Drums Rock not just ignore the bass drum altogether?
Yeah, it does. I know. I love that you've got a kick drum on this. It's great. Although
Yeah.
I was playing some songs on expert mode, and there was still no kick drum. Now I don't know if it's because I have to select it on the. Is it a modifier?
Bro,
Because you have the modifiers like the auto hi-hat open and close, which didn't seem to do anything in the game, or it does it not in terms of the notes that come towards you, and it doesn't actually close and open the hat. I think it just means wherever you hit it, it's just going to count it as. I'm looking actually at your footage now.
Correct.
Oh yeah, bass drum modifier.
You're going to watch me fail a lot, right? Because I was playing on medium, because usually when you play these games on easy, it's just stupid easy, right? You're like, why am I even doing this? Let's get to medium. That's how Beat Saber was, at least. That's how a lot of these games have been for me. But man, I hadn't gotten the feel of this drum set at all. And as I'm trying to play on medium right out of the gate, and I am screwing up non-stop to the point where eventually I just put down sticks and I go, I'll just wait for this song to kick me out and try something else. But it's, and I will say the only times I did any of the bass drum stuff, the kick drum, was in the tutorial. Because I just played everything on medium or easy after that, because I couldn't keep up with it. So I think this is going to be a fun one to fuck around with. I honestly think that all of the drumming games are going to be fun to fuck around with. There was something about this, I think the custom songs, that kind of made me give it more of a chance than the other ones. And so I'm going to be taking a longer look at all of them, and maybe revisiting them and giving them all a chance. So I'm trying to get over my weirdness about VR drumming games.
Super cool that the devs in the chat, it says auto hi-hat means it doesn't matter whether you hit it open or close position. That's cool. I personally think if it's auto, it should like open and close at the moment, but that's probably from a development perspective a bit more difficult. Also, when you close the hi-hat, and this is the drummer and me speaking now, is when you close the hi-hat, it should make the sound of it closing, because sometimes you can... And I like doing the sort of where you hit it open and then you close it and it goes... So like things like that I think would be great. But again, like even though, I've only played this for like 40 minutes. And again, I like the feeling of it. And to be honest, when it comes to these kind of games, the fundamentals are the most difficult part. And where I see a lot of developers fall is that they start with a really good concept and execution of something, and then there's just like not much depth to it, and they never keep adding to it. So the fact that this developer has like, no, I want to build this with the community, that is how a lot of the best games are made. And we were discussing last week about early access, right? And like some people are like, I don't want to play tech demos and that, but these are some of the best games where you have developers that are just saying, check it out. What would you like to see added? And if they do manage to add what is requested, I think that's great. You don't fail at all in this game, do you? Like if you miss stuff.
I mean, I failed plenty.
But as in it does say you failed.
Oh yeah, like again, like I was missing so many at some points, and just being like, man, I can't quite get the rhythm for this one. I would just put the sticks down and wait like 5 seconds, and then I'd miss so many that the game would just go, "You failed," and bring me back to the menu. I'm like, "Yep, that's what I was looking for." So, and I didn't have time to really show you guys my best drumming skills, so I just said, "Fuck it, these guys are used to watching me fail."
The developer says if I implemented all the features I wanted before the launch, I'd be developing until 2035, being alone.
so there you have it. This game will come out of early access and be ready for 1.0 in 2035
for the PS8. Yeah. What was I going to say? The other feature that it definitely should do is the being able to click your sticks together. I did it at one point because you've always got to think about like the magic in VR, that when people get immersed, what are the kind of things they're going to do, and what you're going to do with drumsticks. And it just goes through it. And I was like, yeah, a little bit of clicking the sticks together. Yeah, man, like the way the cymbals move are great. The ride, I was disappointed with. For those that don't know, that's the one that's flat to your right, where they do like the jazz stuff, and when you hit it near the bell, it's the da, 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 da. That it felt like another cymbal. I wish when you hit it on the bell, it had more of the ding 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 sound. That would have been really cool. But yeah, like as I said, the drum kit itself, straight away I was like, okay, this is super cool. Also,
sorry, go ahead.
One of the trophies is to complete a song on 110% speed. But you can only do 125%, which pops the trophy.
Perfect.
So, Yeah, I just let
Corey asked how the haptics are, and I think they could be stronger.
Oh yeah, I agree. Could be stronger. Right. That is what Smash Drums does well. I mean, it's called Smash Drums. Is there's a real explosive effect to it, and it might seem over the top, but like when you're not physically hitting something, you need that feeling of like, and then you really go with the music on that. It'd be cool if they could add a double pedal for metal songs, where because what you do when you're doing a double pedal, you obviously switch between if you want to close and open the hi-hat. When I was a drummer, just leave the hi-hat sloshing around open, and then your left foot is on the pedal, and then do double pedals with the left and right. That'd be amazing. Love it.
Man, learning so much. I literally like I've got I can keep a beat, and I've definitely had to sit in as the drummer when drummers did not show up for other people's bands, and just not I'm as good of a drummer as I am a bartender, right? I can barely make drinks, and I can barely make it sound like I know what I'm doing on the drums. So listening to you talk about it is radically different than my knowledge of it. But anyway, listen, even though the songs that it comes with is fairly bare bones, it did kind of have the Beat Saber effect for me, where I was playing some of the songs in the list that's included with OST1, I guess you'd call it, if we're using Beat Saber terms, and I was sort of surprised. I was like, oh, this is a pretty good song. This is a pretty good song too. Stuff that I've never heard before, and I love the Beat Saber effect when you like learn about new bands or music that you would never have heard of just because you were sort of forced to listen to it. So even the OST is working for me. So this one gets a thumbs up, but just a thumbs up with an asterisk. Make sure that you know what you're getting into, and that like the developer will keep bringing stuff, keep honoring our requests as we go.
Yeah, I mean the fact that the dev is receptive in that, and also huge credit. I'm always happy to give more suggestions and stuff.
Moving
That's
on.
The great thing about this community is because VR is a niche. Is we have just such a close relationship with a lot of developers. Like, there's not many, indie flat screen games, but there's a lot of games where you don't get to give suggestions and see it get implemented. So yeah, what a privilege that is. Sorry, Brian, I kept stopping you from moving on.
Not at all. Not at all. But 4Aces Gamercat with the level 1 membership says, you see that Rager got smooth turning this week? I didn't, actually. That got past me somehow. Did you get to try Rager with smooth turning, Myles?
I haven't actually been on it yet, no.
Okay.
Have you?
Nope. I didn't even know it happened that until 4Aces Gamercat just said it in the chat. Which is great because that was the thing keeping me from enjoying Rager. So I'll have to get back to that sometime this week.
This week.
Sorry, there's a bunch of tips I didn't even realize. I have to keep moving. Prozac 380 with the $2 tip.
Just to say, sorry, I was just going to say on Rager there is going to be. I don't know if we've announced it yet.
Perfect.
I'll announce it. I'll announce it. I'll announce it here. But you'll know in Rager that there is it says there are like. Coming soon. There are some like additional tracks. There's 4 new levels coming this week. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, because there's not a ton, right? The campaign's relatively short.
Yeah, and then there's more. There's free mode. The thing I've spoken to with the dev a lot is I personally think the free mode needs modifiers, like lots of modifiers, like increased speed and that. Yeah. And he's very receptive to it. So what I would say actually to GameCats, to anyone that's been playing it, any suggestions or modifiers you'd like to see in free mode, just mention them because we'll be logging them and that. And I've sort of said to him, if we can do a modifier like once a week or every 2 weeks, that's nice marketing. Like, can do a bit of content saying this is a new way of experiencing the game. And yeah, Adam, solo dev, but he's really receptive to the feedback and that. And yeah, so that's good. 180 degree mode would be fine. World of Long Play said. I think he's looking at doing that for the main campaign because you can do it in free mode, but not in the main campaign. So I think he's looking into that.
Prozac with the $2 tip says, Fuse! If you guys been watching my Resident Evil Village streams, you know what that's all about. Bro, I mean, even if you ever played Resident Evil Village, you know what that's about. anytime you pick up a key item, Capcom does this fucking horror movie jump scare sound effect. Like even if it's just like, oh, you picked up a fuse, it's like pow. It's like I just yell fuse every time I pick up something. Fuse. Thanks for watching. Your Geekness with $5 tip coming to us, South Nashville. Frying Chicken says, huge 90s SP and J Chamberlain fan. SP and J Chamberlain fan. Oh no, my brain doesn't work well enough to know what he's talking about. Not a drummer. I'm a guitarist/songwriter. Me too. But without the ability to open and close the hi-hat, so much is lost. Yeah, that's what it just feels like. That's some extra little love was put into drum beats. Thought it was cool. What is it? Huge 90s SP and J Chamberlain fan? Is that ringing a bell for you, Myles? I'm so embarrassed to not know.
No. If I look up, I'll kick myself probably.
Yeah, I'm gonna kick myself. I know. Smashing Pumpkins. Oh, right. The drummer is Jimmy Chamberlain. What's his real name? I don't fucking know. Smashing Pumpkins. Jesus, I should have known that.
There we go.
Yep. Thank you for clarifying your geekness. I used to love Smashing Pumpkins. Comic book guy with the 5 quid says, just a random tip from a comic book guy to say, hopefully you both have a great week. I would say how mine was, but I don't think you would be interested. I mean, it would have to be a different show. I think everybody would be interested in hearing about Comic Book Guy's Week. I know I would be. All right, I think that gets us caught up. So let's talk about Twitcher. Single player game cat with the 2 quid says, ooh, bullet hell.
Oh, bullet inconvenience.
Bullet inconvenience. That is more like what Titan Isles actually is. Everything's a bullet hell. Didn't you know? Jimmy, I was right. Thank you. Your geekness. Jimmy Chamberlain. Good. I had to embarrass myself first, but we got there. All right. Myles, we've got a lot of information to get through about the upcoming Legendary Tales DLC, which the last time BJ was on the channel, he said it was coming mid-March, late March, something along those lines. And as you all know, it's March 20th today. We are running out of time. However, he did say that we'll be getting the release date on the VR Game Showcase next week, which is exciting.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna go through the entire Steam post about everything that they've included, which is so much. They've just added so much to this game, but I don't want to bury the lead. I think it's really cool, Myles, that they've some of these updates here. Hold on a second. Legendary Tales. What is not the Abbey? Dawn of History. That's what it's called. There's our trailer. For the longest time, we'd been told that we have to beat the campaign in order to access the DLC, and I think
beat it.
A lot of people were in the same boat as me, being like, I mean, I don't have a save character currently with the completed campaign, and so we're trying to work our way through it. And the great news that came out of all of this is that you don't have to finish the campaign in order to access the DLC now. And even better, if you're intimidated, if you're a first-time player and you want a little bit of a leg up and you kind of just want to get into it, right? You don't want to grind. They're going to offer you a level 50 character out of the gate, so you can just kind of get in there and get to the new stuff. If you just want to do it that way, which I thought was really, really cool. Not that I hated what they were doing before, but for me it was like, when am I going to find time to get this new character that I have through the entire game and finish it? It's been dozens of hours that I just don't have before this DLC launches, and so I'm really, really happy that they changed their mind about this. This makes a lot of sense.
I mean, it's always the thing. I mean, it's even in movies. If you do a sequel and you need to have like done all your homework, and the only way you're going to enjoy it is if you've watched the previous one. You're already going to alienate a potential audience for it, and like it's even more the case in gaming for a DLC that this is a hardcore game. And so if you're, what percentage of people have got to the end? I've not completed the end boss, and I'm a maxed out level. It's difficult. And so the fact that, people can jump in. And look, I've been on the other side of this where I'm really annoyed with that kind of stuff. Like, I used to love playing Destiny, and you'd grind and grind to get those final light levels or wherever it was. And then they would do a new DLC, and it's like, oh, if you join now and you get shot up to level 20 or whatever it is. And I'm like, what? I've just spent like 6 months grinding that, and anyone that joins now just skips up to it. But that's just the nature of gaming. You want to maximize the amount of people. And I think if you can jump into the DLC, which is a hell of a lot of content with people, you can drag a friend on. Don't worry that you've not played it before. Get it, and we can start this DLC together. I think, you know what? That's awesome.
Yep. We have Matt Vegan in the chat saying, I only beat it thanks to friends. Minner is saying, I finished Legendary Tales 4 times with different builds. I love that. I love that because that is really showing the potential of this game. Saying that, like, yes, you can play through it once and it'll take you, 40 hours or something. I don't even know. I'd have to look back at my old review and see how long it took. But the fact that you can have these radically different experiences with these radically different builds, that's the Diablo dream. I'm going to bring up the Steam page here, and we can kind of get a better look at some of these additions that are coming. Is this it? Is this it? Is this it? Is it going to pop up? Yeah. Excellent. All right, so Legendary Tales DLC, a final update before release, new story systems, enemies, and something went wrong. Okay, well, if we refresh, is something going to go right? Something went wrong. No, I don't like when things go wrong, Myles. Will it go right now?
Because I only watch based on the live stream on a lag. So by the time you fixed it, I'm going to be like, it's not quite there yet. So there's no point asking me for feedback.
Yeah, we're just going to have to roll with it because it's just like, something's wrong.
You gotta roll with it. You gotta
say what you say. Don't let anybody get in your way. This is all too much. What? Who is that? Why do I know this song? Gotta take your time. You gotta. If you're talking with me, I think I got a feeling. What is this song, dude? What did you just do to me?
It's a British band, mate.
Take it away.
It's a British band.
It's Oasis. All right, I just had to get to the chorus.
It's Oasis, mate.
Yeah. Holy crap, that was weird. If I just heard Liam Gallagher's voice instead of my own, it would have been very clear right from the get-go. Or was it Noel that said? It wasn't Noel Gallagher that sang that song. Anyway, hello everyone. It's been a long journey. Today I'd like to share what will likely be the final update before the release of Legendary Tales DLC. Over the past year and a half, we've focused on simple goal to create something that isn't just more content, but an experience that truly deepens the world of Legendary Tales. We didn't want to leave things vague. We wanted to give you, your journey, real meaning through new systems, new challenges, and a proper narrative. Throughout development, I kept asking myself a simple question. Can we create something we are truly proud of, not just as developers, but as gamers? I can confidently say this. Yes, we did. As a result, here's what we built. A world expanded, a new town, which is fucking so cool. It's so cool to have a new town. 3 new dungeons. 2 massive new regions containing 3 additional sub-dungeons. 2 boss maps. This is so great. I know,
it's insane.
Really, it's like, I hope I haven't even played this update yet, and I'm kind of like, boy, I hope there's another update after this that gives us yet another town. Like, just build it out, make it just this massive open world.
And the bosses are so creative in Legendary Tales. Like, everyone, you're like, whoa, what's the mechanics happening here? So, yeah, I'm hyped.
New threats to face. 24 new enemies. People were asking about like, oh man, we're supposed to be fighting skeletons and goblins and what is
24 new goblins.
Right. Well, the question, of course, is Myles. Is it going to be like here's a zombie, and then we put a sword in one of the zombies' hands, and we put armor in one of the zombies. Variants. Right. Yeah. And so is that what it is? And my guess is probably, so. But it'll be nice to have the variety no matter what. 12 new champions. I was trying to think of the word champion during the last stream, and I couldn't think of it. 2 formidable new bosses. We also have new ways to build your character, new item categories, staff, ring, and book. 6 new items, 16 new legendary items. Saying deeper systems with new system, seals. 14 new seals, 36 possible seal combinations. So this is a brand new thing that they're introducing, seals, and they're giving us 14 of them. Don't club them, Myles. We know how you've treated penguins in the past.
Yeah, seals are fine.
Okay. Expanded combat and magic, 21 new skills, 9 new spells added to the existing skill tree, 11 completely new skills, 14 completely new spells, more stories to experience with 14 main quests, 15 side quests, real storylines, we hope, fingers crossed. And then level cap increased from 50 to 60. I know the higher level you are, the slower the progression goes. But I was really hoping for something a little bit more, like just let you grind forever. I was hoping they would go to like 100 or something, but I'm sure 60 is going to be significantly more than 50. And then he talks about the feature to be able to jump into the DLC immediately, like we talked about, and the official release date will be revealed on March 24th. The VR Game Showcase. I don't know what just happened. The page like reloaded or something. I don't know what happened. So we're going to close that up. So, have they, this is the one thing I guess that's on everyone's mind. Have they mentioned the price for this thing? Like, this is a lot of extra work that they put in. What would be your guess?
I mean, I'm going to be stupid. I wasn't even sure when they first announced this if it was going to be paid DLC. But
I mean, I'm assuming it is.
Yeah, I mean, reading this now, I'm like, it has to be. But a part of me is also like, if it was thrown in with the base game as well, they could maintain the price, a solid price, So that's what they could do, sell it as a DLC for existing. But then I don't think they would even do that. But I don't know. Like, for a lot like this, I'm trying to think in US.
Tatum was saying, was it not $10? I don't know. I was going
to say like $10 would be an absolute steal.
Yeah.
But one that I think is how you're going to get the biggest amount of adoption. I think when it comes to DLC, you can't be doing a $20 DLC.
Right.
Because what you want to do is 10, so it becomes a no-brainer. People then get it, and they're saying to their friends, you've got to get the game because it's got even more content now. And it's like, so here's the price of the regular game and the DLC. Do you know what I mean? Because that's what you're not just convincing people to return, you're convincing people to buy the base game and the DLC as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
They do have some images here. I think it was Looper saying that there's some more pictures on the bottom of the page. I'm just scrolling by them. I guess because again we are for whatever reason it's not loading the page properly, so we're not able to show them quite as full screen as I'd like to. However, I guess maybe would it do it? Would that work? No. Yes.
Can I just say that with all of the 21 new skills and 9 new spells and 11 completely new skills and 14 completely new spells, it's not just the individual new additions. It's the combinations of how they work with each other, like the multiplier effect of you creating your own build and all that. So it's just absolutely fantastic.
So the new system seals, you can find items. You can find the items have slots and insert seals into them. There's seal combinations that make weapons stronger. This is interesting. I feel like we talked about this recently, so I was like, oh, I wonder what the new seal system is. But I think we talked about it recently because to me it sounds like kind of Myles, help me out. The materia system in Final Fantasy VII?
Right.
Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, you get materia, and then you basically slot it into your weapons, and you have some that actually relate to each other, and then others that are just individual abilities. Yeah.
Corey says,
so
Corey
cool.
in the chat says 25 or 30, no less than 20. Yeah, that's sort of where my brain was at. I was thinking this was going to be like $20 or $30 DLC. But again, I don't think he's been very transparent about that. Again, lots and lots of pictures. We get some enemy pictures here. That one looks kind of like a thing with a sword and a shield. But kind of freaky with no face. This enemy is an imp. Good. Look at this enemy, Hwoarang, which I remember from Hwoarang from Tekken 3.
Oh yeah, I used to love playing as him.
Yeah, lots of kicks. Oh, get some animations.
That's it.
Too. Yeah. New legendaries. Yeah, this is such a great little preview here of what's to come. So
Imps. Oh my god.
We'll be keeping you posted. We'll be checking this out as soon as possible, and with any luck, playing it as a multiplayer stream. Now that we can kind of jump straight to the last time we tried to play this game, something went horribly wrong, right? And I was playing with a level 20 character. You guys were playing with like very starting level characters, and it just kind of messed everything up. And so maybe we just ditch all of those characters. We jump in, we grab our level 50 characters from the get-go, and we just run off and explore new territory. I think we should be doing that the next time we do well, depending on when this game comes out, I guess, or when the DLC comes out. But I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm hyped for this.
Yeah, big time. And I think that brings us to the end of our scripted show. Let's just check in with the cats here real quick and make sure we get. Oops, let me go to this screen so we can actually see the tips. What's up, Game Cato, who sent 10 without Parole gift memberships. Thank you so much, man. Hope you've been okay. Really appreciate your support, as always. Voorhees Gamercat said Wes should have been the host on that stream. Why? What did I miss, Voorhees Gamercat? What were we doing? I'll tell you, I've been trying to do what just happened here? There we go. Discord's trying to update in the middle of our show. Like, no, thank you, Discord. I've been trying to do a supercut of our Galaxy Kart stream. And what I didn't think about before taking all 4 of our streams and all 4 of our footage and trying to line them up in Premiere and cut back and forth between the different perspectives while different things are happening on stream is that there are 4 voices happening on each video. And if you don't have them lined up perfectly, and it's impossible to have them lined up perfectly because there is like a second delay.
Latency. Yeah.
Right? When you're in voice chat on in game. There are 16 people talking at once if you don't have it perfect. And that is maddening to edit. So
yeah, that is wild.
Yeah. Oh, so he could complete his quests. Oh yeah. Yeah, we didn't do a very good job of that one. Anyway, so yeah, like I said, we'll be checking this one out as soon as we possibly can. I'm really excited. It'll be a lot of fun. We also have Sun WTF with a $2 tip says racing pedals supported in drum beats for bass. Is that's you're saying it should be, right? It's not actually supported.
That's a great shout.
I can't imagine trying to play drums around the steering wheel.
Yeah.
Just so I can have a kick pedal. Yeah. That feels like I look like a T-Rex or something right now. It's not going well.
I love it though. Good. That's a good thought though.
Yeah, I mean, look, creativity, man. Creativity. Mr. Cherryman with a $20 tip says, this is for the GameCat meetup fund. See you guys in Vegas. I mean, I really got to start having the GoFundMe link posted in the chat and on screen here. But listen, we appreciate your support no matter how you support us. The money that you send this way will help get me to Vegas. The money that you send for the GoFundMe will be split 4 ways between the rest of us. So really, really appreciate everybody's help. This is we still got a couple more weeks. I think we have 4 weeks until Vegas. And so if I do my math right, And if we're able to do it, that's like 8 more streams. So hopefully we can raise the rest of the money that we need, Myles, in order to make sure that no one goes broke trying to get there. Thank you, Mr. Cherry Man. Gonna be nice to meet you in Vegas. Comic book guy with 10 quid says, firstly, I'm glad I wasn't the only one to get a little scared in RE8 when picking up key stuff. and as you think everybody would be interested in what I did, what I did was look after my dad's dog. Well, what kind of dog? We need more details. What kind of podcast do you think you're on, comic book guy, where you don't need any details? Did the dog poop anywhere? Did you have to clean anything up? Huh? Was it noisy? Were the neighbors complaining? Or was it just fucking chilling? Like, hey, speaking of being noisy and the neighbors complaining. No, she is the best cat in the world. Love you, comic book guy. Thanks for this. I hope it was fun. Comic book guys with the 2 quid says, so Brian, you doing a live stream tomorrow? Oh my God, how does it every single Friday gets here? And then we're like, wait, are we streaming tomorrow? I'll just say we haven't figured it out.
I thought we were. There was one game, Wes recommended a game, which I was like, I'm totally down for that.
Cool.
Which was Survive.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, listen, I'm down. It's going to be chaos. Okay? It really is. It's going to be chaos. I'm going to lose my shit for the first hour. So we can't just play for an hour if we're doing Survive, cuz it's going to take me an hour to acclimate to those fucking controls and all that jank again. But I'm down. I really liked Survive when it came down to it. We had to struggle through a lot to enjoy it. But then once we struggled, we liked it. All right. Myles, you want to do a 4-minute challenge?
Sure, it's your turn, isn't it, to pick this time?
It is indeed, and I've already picked. How convenient.
Oh my goodness.
All right, you guys know how this works. Random Talk says, bring Tornado to Vegas so we can all pet her. Bro, I try to take her to my parents' house. In the second I take her out of the pet carrier, she like darts behind the entertainment center, like wedges herself in there, just so like, and then she just hides. She's so embarrassed that I'm telling the story because my parents have a cat, and like that cat hisses at me, and it's known me his entire life, and so she's not so good with being hissed at. So I can't. She doesn't like being anywhere but here. I've tried. If I even take her in the car for like 10 minutes, have you ever heard the sad meow? The sad meow. No, it's a sound I've never heard a cat make until I put her in the pet carrier and then put her in the Jeep. She just stares at me through the mesh and just goes. Oh no! And she goes meow. I was like, what? What is that noise? She just looked at me. She's like, "Are you sad?" And she goes meow just over and over. It's the saddest, most heartbreaking meow you've ever heard. And she's just like, "I'm sad and scared, Dad. This is not. I don't like this." And it's like heartbreaking. So I was like, I'm never going to do this to her again. I promised myself. It's so sad. But she's very happy here, aren't you? Yes, you are.
Okay. Well, to just have a bit of sad with a bit of happy, there was a funny video I saw on Instagram of a dog that sounded like a British gentleman. He'd go, ah. And it sounded like he said, hello, love. He goes, hello, love. And it's just like, when you get stuffed animals that sound like human speaking, it's just like unbelievable because we always try and humanize things. But yeah,
and it's always funny. Like I just always assume it's fake, right? That's been dubbed or something, right? But that sounds pretty legit. All right, you guys, you know how this game works. I've got a game in my head. It's a PSVR 1 or PSVR 2 game. You guys out there and Myles over here only has 4 minutes, but an infinite number of yes or no questions to figure out what game I'm thinking of. So make sure you ask.
I'm going to need everyone's help. I can't do this alone.
It's way harder than it seems. When you watch from home, you're like 5 seconds in, I got this.
Yeah.
Right? No, it's way harder. So ask your questions in the chat, and then based on the answers you guys get, suggest games that it might be. This was a write-in. I did not choose this myself. So
whoa!
Shout out to JP who chose this one.
All right, JP.
Hopefully you know JP well, so you know what he would so you know what he would suggest.
We'll see, JP.
On your mark, get Des. Hold on a second. I don't even have the fucking store page open. I have like, what game was it? Shit. There we go. Okay, you guys probably all saw it in the reflection, so don't cheat. Let me scroll, and on your mark, get Des.
Let's go.
Go.
Is it on PSVR2?
Yes.
Is it only on PSVR2?
No.
Is it on PSVR?
No.
Meta Quest?
Yes.
Steam VR?
I don't think so. I'm going to check though. Keep asking questions.
All right, that's cool. Is it a game that's come out in the last 2 years?
Yeah. Oh, fuck me. I lost the store page. It came out. No, not in the last 2 years.
Did it come out in 2024?
No.
Okay.
Myles,
was it a launch title?
It came out in 2023. I'm going to make it easy on you because I can't do math in my head.
That's all right. I just always look at the chat and it's just Looper, just a wall of Looper. Have they gone for a realistic aesthetic?
I would say that's what they're going for.
They've gone for realism. And do you shoot guns?
No.
No guns. Is there weapon? Are there weapons?
It is also on Steam.
Okay.
Man, is there weapons? Yeah, there are.
Is it melee weapons?
Yeah.
Is it your fists? Is that what it is?
No.
No. Okay. Okay. Melee weapons. Is it a sport?
No.
Is it an action adventure?
It's an adventure, light on action. I would call it.
Does it have a story?
Yes.
Is it heavy story?
Mediocre, medium.
Are there other characters that you're talking to?
Yeah.
And are there VR like cutscenes? Like, are there moments? Well, let me ask it as two questions. Are there cutscenes?
I remember cutscenes. They are not a big part of the experience.
Okay. All right.
God,
and are there scenes that play out where it's not like cutscenes? You're not watching video, like it's happening around you. Like you'll stop and you can't remember.
I'm sorry. Yep.
That's right. Just a reminder for the chat. They've gone for realism. Does this game have puzzles?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
It's not crazy, but there's puzzles.
And is it part of a series? Like, have there been games before this that it's a part of?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a series. There was a game before it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's not like part 1 and part 2. That's not what we're talking about.
Is it a spiritual successor to whatever came before it? Is that how you describe it?
I would say it's a VR offshoot. How about that?
Okay, VR offshoot. Okay. Are there robots in it?
No.
No robots in it. Is it set in the present day?
I believe so.
Okay. But it's got a contemporary setting.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it based in the real world? Like, is it based in how we'd see? Yeah. Like.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
Yeah. You got 30 seconds, by the way.
Oh man, is it by Vertigo Games?
No.
It's modern, but you said it was modern day. I'm just looking at the chat. Oh my god. Is it third person?
No.
Oh man. And it's a VR offshoot. Is there climbing?
Not really.
No.
Not good. I'll give you one more question.
Climbing.
Yeah, I'll give you one more question and a guess because I stumbled quite a bit back there.
That's all right. My last question is going to be, no, it can't be based on a big PlayStation IP because it's on other platforms as well.
Right.
Oh no, but it's not Vertigo Games. Fuck. Is there parkour in it?
No.
No.
Would have been so much better.
All right,
if
Brian.
there was.
Yeah. Okay, right. My guess is going to be VR offshoot that is on all 3 platforms, and it was in 2023. I am going to go with Fuck, man.
One more hint. We were disappointed that this VR offshoot was not more like the original game. That's it. That's your last hint.
No. That's going to make it even more annoying because it's like, I'm just waiting for the chat to say something, and I look at it and go, "That's the one."
You're waiting for Looper to give you the answer.
No. Looper said a lot of things that it's not. Yeah. But Vertigo Games did Metro, didn't they? Because I thought it was, so it's not Metro. Dude, just tell me, put me out my misery. What is it?
Myles, coming out all the way back in, this is the wrong store page. And this is also the wrong store page. How many PlayStation store pages do I have open? Coming out all the way back August 15th of 2023. It was in fact
Vertigo 2.
Green Hell VR.
Oh, Green Hell VR, and we talked about it on the show today. Okay. Yeah.
Did we talk about Green Hell
we
today?
didn't. We didn't talk about it. Someone in the chat was talking about it when I was asking about the grenade throwing functions in Forefront, and it was Hitman, and Green Hell also uses the same throwing mechanic. So, yeah.
And Looper says, "What was the first game?" And that's why I was very specific about being like, it's
not, a VR offshoot.
That's what I said. It was not like the first game, and here's the second game. It's a VR offshoot. It was a VR version of that flat screen game, right? Sorry. I tried my best, and I know some of my answers were not as clear as they should have been.
That threw me off, but it was. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Because I kept on going because everyone was saying Call of the Mountain. I was like, it's not. If it's on non-PlayStation platforms, it's not going to be any of them. Man.
Infinite Loop says, "What is Green Hell an offshoot of?" No. Green Hell VR is an offshoot of Green Hell. If you ever played Green Hell, it's nothing like Green Hell VR.
It's a different game,
right? They made a completely different game and made it much more linear, like not these big kind of open areas, open worlds. So, yeah, did we even talk about multiplayer? Right? Did you ask if there was multiplayer? I don't remember you even asking.
No, I didn't ask if it was multiplayer.
No.
Anyway,
sorry, I should know these games better.
If I'd asked that, it wouldn't have made me any closer. The things I've got on my notes are the 3 platforms: 2023, realism, melee weapons, adventure, light on action. There are other characters, which is true.
Mostly over radios and shit.
Yeah. Some puzzles, VR shoot, contemporary setting, real world. Yeah, I just wasn't drilling it down anymore. I got lost in the weeds, in the jungle. Got lost in the jungle.
Yeah. You never finished it?
No, I didn't. I
never
got out of the first area. I kept going.
Oh damn! It gets really, really good at some points, and you're like, "What is happening here?" Right? And just like the story actually does start really escalating, and then you find natives, and like I was like, "Holy crap, this game is amazing!" And then it fucking ends, and I hate the ending. I really just did not like how it ended. But oh well. Yep. All right.
Can I ask? Have you played the regular game?
No. This was all secondhand information from people who had.
Do you know? Is it the same story as the original game? It's just it's reordered in this new format, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Again, so some of my answers could have been a little bit more clear, but I'm supposed to say yes or no, and so
exactly that's the thing.
I'm trying to go above and beyond and say different things that push you in the right direction. But I think maybe I might have led you astray a little bit by doing so. Oh, MT Gaming says, "Thanks for your advice. I just got the PSVR2 on sale and followed up with a PS5 Pro." Ooh, it's an expensive week for MT Gaming. He says, "Taking it out of the box tomorrow." Enjoy. So exciting. I think there's lots of new PSVR2 gamers out there. All right, man. It is time to wrap this thing up. Oh, hold on. We got new tips and I didn't even see them. So we'll wrap it up in just a second. Hold on. We're still good. There we go. GameCato with the level 3 membership says, "Perhaps someone would donate a large amount if you all live stream 90s extreme skiing. I know I would."
Do I ask who said that?
GameCato with the level 3 membership. Yeah. Maybe we'll surprise you, GameCato, and then you can do as you will.
Yeah.
Certainly, no one's under any obligation. But we do appreciate everyone who's helping us get to Vegas. Remember, the GoFundMe link is everywhere, but I will make sure it's pinned to the comments below after the show is over. Awesome Tatum sent 5 without Parole gift memberships. Thank you so much, Tatum. I feel like I haven't gotten my daily dose of Tatum recently. I will say this: I only have two friends on my Switch 2, and he is one of them. And so whenever it says, "Here's some games that your friends are playing," it's always just fucking Tatum. I'm like, so I know everything that Tatum's playing all the time. We got Twitcher, the single player game cat with the 5 quid saying, FYI, previous commenter wasn't just speculating. Racing pedals as bass drum pedals are a thing in Drumsbeat VR. That's crazy. That is crazy. I'll have to try it out because it does sound really fun. Even though I think I'll have to dismantle my racing rig to do it properly. MH the red cat that matters with the €2 says, Just pour dire. I don't know what that means. Just pour dire. I'll donate for Game Cat's meetup. Thank you so much. What does juste pour dire mean? Do you know? Do you speak any other languages? Is that English?
No.
I don't even know.
Just pour dire. I don't know. Let me look it up.
It is just saying.
Oh my God! No, don't.
French.
Oh God, I can't believe they said that.
It's French. Just saying.
It's just to say. Just saying.
Just saying.
Appreciate
Just
you.
saying. Yep. Also, comic book guy with the 2 quid says, meow. What a great way to end. Meow, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being here. And thank you, everybody who supports the channel in whatever way it is, even if it's just sitting here and watching the show. It means a lot. You know, the views, the likes, the hype button, whatever it is, it helps us get out there into the world just a little bit more beyond our regular circles. We appreciate you guys doing that for us. But if you support the channel financially, whether it's over on patreon.com/withoutparolegames, or by being a member over here, or by tipping during the show, or by contributing to the GoFundMe and helping us all get to Vegas, thank you so much. It means the world. And if you just sit back and watch the show, don't say a goddamn word, and you don't even hit the like button, you don't hype the video or nothing, that's okay. We know you're out there. And we love you just as much. Here it is, Myles.
Whoa.
Legendary take of the week. Courtesy of Andrew Ehrenreich. Let's go. That's the wrong button.
Whoa.
There it is. Your Geekness with the $2 says, have a good weekend, guys and gals. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Dude, I felt Andrew Ehrenreich's frustration through the screen in that clip of the week, in that legendary take of the week. I've been playing a lot of Village, all on stream, and sometimes, man, those knives just don't go where you want them to. Fortunately, I unlocked the stake weapon, which is a fucking really powerful handgun. And then I also unlocked in the last stream infinite ammo for it. And I also leveled it up to like three power levels above where I was at. And so it's the most fucking powerful thing on the face of the planet right now. And so I'm like, I usually walk around smashing boxes and smashing barrels with my hands so I don't waste ammo. Dude, I'm just shooting everything. Anything that comes along, I'm just shooting it. Feels good.
I need to get back to those games, especially because I've built my horror tolerance up because of other titles. Yeah.
Myles, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm going to. Have you completed Village or RE4 Remake?
No. I need to go back to them.
Yo, listen. If you get a day where you can pimp the GoFundMe, I think you should definitely make some progress in those games. I would absolutely like to watch that. All right.
So yeah, I've honestly not been doing any VR live streaming this week. I've been really disappointed, and it's just because it's been hectic, and it's all once we're at the other side of the VR game showcase. I don't want to jinx it, but I should start having a bit more time. It's been busy, but I think the VR community is going to be really pleased with Tuesday. I'm not just talking about the stuff we're doing. Like I think that Jamie and Xena have just continued to step up, and I also think there's going to be a nice. PSVR2, and Jamie said this, is going to feel much more better represented this time compared to maybe previous VR game showcase, which is what we all want. But yeah,
good. I'm excited. I haven't even procured a co-host for it yet. I haven't even asked Jamie. So
I thought you would do it. I thought you were going to be doing it with Jamie. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm very bad at planning.
That's
things.
the default.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Jamie's my dude for all things special occasions. So I should send him a message right after this and ask him if he wants to do it. But you know what's going to happen? It's going to be like Monday night, and I'm going to be like, oh shit, I never messaged Jamie, and then I'm just going to show up Tuesday and do it myself.
To be honest, I was watching his video earlier about Firewall Ultra, and he said it at the start of the video. You could hear it in his voice. He's unwell. He's got a cold or something at the moment, so the boy needs to rest.
Yeah,
but hopefully he rests well this weekend, and he'll be good and ready to go on Tuesday.
Excellent. Get well, Jamie.
Yeah, get well, Jamie.
Right. Everybody have a great night, great weekend. We love you all. Meow.